Hello everyone, you are on Channel Rewatch. Today I will explain a post-apocalyptic show called Attack on Titan from 2015, in which people, in order to survive, must fight terrible giants that devour them. In the backstory, we learn that more than 100 years ago, giant creatures appeared called Titans. Monsters have swallowed up almost all of humanity. The remaining people built huge walls to protect themselves from the invaders. A guy named Eren met with his friends, standing in the middle of the field on an old rock. Friends warn that it's not safe here, but Eren laughs in response and slips to the ground. A girl named Mikasa tries to help him, and a friend named Armin wonders why Eren cannot live and work in the city like everyone else. Eren in response says that he does not want to remain behind huge walls all his life. Frustrated with his life, Eren kicks the rock, and at the same moment, Mikasa turns her attention to the pattern behind the layer of dirt. The guys understand that the figure is a woman and the ocean. Later, the trio proceeded past the guards to reach the base of the wall. Eren decides to find a way to climb the wall, but his friends try to dissuade him because if they are caught, they will be executed. Moreover, they can meet Titans outside. Eren does not believe that Titans were able to survive, since no one has seen them for the last 100 years. The inattentive teenagers are noticed by a patrol, and Eren begins to violently fight off the armed people. If an old acquaintance of Eren's mother had not appeared, then the teenagers could have been shot. The guy's joy is interrupted by a sudden earthquake. A moment later, a huge Titan peeps over the wall. The shocked patrol notices a monster shrouded in smoke, which starts kicking the wall. After numerous blows, the monster manages to leave a hole in the wall, and immediately after that, it leaves. After a few seconds, the trio notices a crowd of Titans with terrifying faces. The military is trying with all its might to protect the city, but nothing could stop the approaching giants. Monsters chase people and devour anyone they like. Teenagers get to the church, but right at the doorstep, Mikasa notices a child left in the crowd. Eren noticed his friend inside the already closed church, and the crowd did not let the guy who wanted to save the girl with the child. A Titan is approaching Mikasa, and at some point, there was a push. When the guy went out into the street, the girl and the child were not there. Next, the Titans attacked the people in the church. The guy who lost everything in a matter of minutes staggered disappointedly through the ruins of the city. After 2 years, the military plans to return under their control the fertile lands that were previously captured by the Titans. One of the commanders demonstrates a new weapon that can help defeat the Titans. Eren joined the military along with his friend Armin. During dinner, Armin shares the plan with the girls. The military intends to blow up a gap in the wall so that it closes. After that, the fragments of the wall will be used to build up the holes. Moreover, this is the last chance for salvation, since in case of failure, humanity will die. Later, the military prepares for the mission. The commander reports that the Titans usually sleep at night, and their vision deteriorates noticeably, which means there will be more chances for success if they advance at night. After a brief warning, the military drives out of the wall in an armored vehicle. At some point, the man stops the movement, and he suspected something was wrong. The soldiers began to move and look around carefully. Soon they noticed the cows, and remember that the Titans only eat people. Before continuing the trip, the girl hears the child and follows him. Eren catches up with the girl, and they approach the source of the sound, and at some point, a nasty mucus drops onto the girl. Eren looks up and notices a huge child eating a human. The girl gets frightened, causing the Titan to fall down and begin to cry loudly. The people try to run to the abandoned buildings in order to somehow hide from the Titans, but they are quickly surrounded. If it weren't for Shikishima, from the scout group, who killed a huge monster, the group would have been eaten. Soon the partner of the man arrives, who also skillfully kills another monster. Eren understands that this is Mikasa, who survived, and who did not pay attention to the guy. Further, one of the team accuses Eren for attack of the Titans, and he went after the child. A fight breaks out, which is stopped by Mikasa. Shikishima approaches Eren, and after he learned the name of the young guy, he asks to follow him. The captain asks Eren why he hates the Titans. He replies that they are to blame for the death of almost all of humanity, and only because of them, they have to live locked up. Shikishima does not agree with the guy. He compares people to cattle and thinks Eren is the same, but Eren vehemently denies it. Later, Eren finds Mikasa. The girl was sitting in front of a broken piano. She tells the guy that the baby she tried to save was devoured, and then shows a large scar from the teeth of the Titan. The conversation is interrupted by Shikishima, who hugs the girl. Eren doesn't like it and leaves. The guy goes outside and realizes that the girl has changed a lot. He starts screaming, but Kiana stops him. She takes him to the building and calms him down. The girl talks about her past and eventually tries to seduce the guy. Their proximity stops a huge eye in the building's hole. The Titan grabs Kiana and immediately eats her. Soon, a whole herd of monsters begins to approach the base. The military is evacuating urgently, and some of them are going into battle. Shikishima and Mikasa handle giants with almost no problem. But there are many casualties among the military because they lack experience. A panic begins. Then, Eren notices a guy with whom he had a conflict earlier. He understands that the guy who stubbornly tried to prove his courage is sitting on the roof and is too afraid to go into battle. Eren begins to remember the words of Shikishima and in anger, rushes to the crowd of Titans. Due to the lack of combat experience, the guy's leg ends up in the mouth of the Titan, and Eren falls to a roof. Shikishima, seeing the wounded young man, simply leaves. Armin tries to figure out where Eren is, but he is told that his dead body is on the roof. The one Titan grabs Armin, and no one can save him. Armin finds himself in the mouth of a Titan, but Eren, who arrived in time, pulls out his friend, and at the same time, he turns out to be in Armin's place. The monster manages to bite through Eren's hand, which falls in front of Armin's eyes. Soon, Mikasa approaches Armin, who reports the boy's death. The girl temporarily closes her eyes, but quickly comes to her senses and tells the group that she will clear the way for them. Mikasa starts to kill the Titans, but the gas in her equipment quickly runs out, and she falls to the ground. The Titan that swallowed Eren approaches the girl, but a hand comes out of the giant's mouth, and then the body explodes. In its place, an unusual flaming Titan appears, which begins to kill the remaining monsters. In the end, the Titans, realizing their hopelessness, begin to retreat. Mikasa guesses that the unusual Titan is Eren. The giant hits the roof with people and lifts the girl. They look at each other, and at some point, the flesh of the Titan began to evaporate. Eren is indeed inside, and in doing so, all of his lost limbs have grown back. Shikishima was watching everything that was happening, and was not surprised by Eren's transformation. Eren gradually regains consciousness, and the film ends there.